Alright, gang, welcome back to our Skyefin Aquafarm series here in Kinlaig. It is July, rain is in the forecast, and we've got some fields to harvest today. Specifically, this field right here is ready to harvest, and also the field out there in the distance is also ready to harvest today. Also, made some changes on the farm, so we spent a little bit of effort, a little bit of time in the last episode buying some more land, right? And I obviously spent an absolute boatload of money because, as you can see, we have $9,926 to our name. Now, what have I done? Well, realistically, what we kind of talked about in the last episode, I've accomplished that. So we've got a nice track heading this way, which is going to be super useful for us. You can see in the distance, I already put down our fish food factory as well. I've got a track going that way to go back out to the main road if we need to. And then quite a large track, honestly, going this way. Probably a little bit larger than I needed to make it, but that's okay. Even though we don't really have anything to do with the back portion of the actual production itself, I did put a bit of a track that way just to kind of keep, a bit of realism going here. But anyway, we've got our brand new Kinlaig feed company, or secondary one, I guess, up here on our land now. So it's fantastic. I really am happy with how it turned out and where it's at. Probably need to spend a little bit more money, maybe expanding out a little bit of the road just for turnaround purposes. There's enough room for me with a tractor, but I'm not sure if I have, a trailer and things, if it's going to be quite enough or not. But nonetheless, we've got that in, and this is going to be pretty nice for us as we move forward. Now, what I talked about over here with the rest of this, we are going to turn this into a field. Kind of the area over there to the right of that big tree in the middle. That's probably going to stay as more of like a yard expansion. We'll put a shed down of some sort soon enough. Obviously, we don't have enough money for it right now, but soon enough we will do that and kind of carry on from there. But I'm very, very happy with how this turned out. The rain has just now showed up, which is not good. I thought it was going to be a little later than that. It is only going to rain for a brief period of time, so what we're probably going to end up doing here, first thing first, is selling some of this fish food that we've got, or sorry, not fish food, some of these trout that we have, right? We've got some trout here that we're ready to sell, so we'll probably do that today, right off the bat, just get that moving here, and hopefully the rain will subside by the time we're done here. I need to move this kind of a little bit closer to being able to be accepted. Same with this over here. Now, we also have some of the fish that's been created from our aquafarm that needs to be moved up here as well, right? So we've got some of that needs to be moved because we turned that off of auto distributing for the time being because we are coming close to being done with our offshore aquafarm, which we said we were going to get rid of just because it's not as much as I was hoping. I don't really love it. So because I don't really love it, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of it, and we're going to kind of focus on more specifically just the lakes, I think, for the most part. So let's see, how's it doing on the offshore? It is actually empty, so we can go ahead and get rid of it now. There is no reason to keep this, and that's going to provide a lot of money back for us, which is going to allow us to continue our progress, of kind of expanding our yard a little bit over to this area, right? Having a secondary version of that. This is going to be a pretty large field, though, we're going to be able to make out of this, right? We're probably not going to be able to really touch that today because we do need to harvest this field here and this field here today, and those are going to take us quite a while to do. But nonetheless, it will, produce quite a bit of money for us, which is nice. So we're going to go ahead and sell this. Actually, I need to move those out of there. Okay, so let's grab the JCB. One final time of dealing with the stress of this. And we can move on from this whole debacle. We tried lots of different ways. A lot of people, a lot of you, I guess I should say, have all kind of been in agreement with me that you don't really enjoy it or like it either. It's left some things to be wanted, I guess is how we'll put it. Now, I could literally just pick these up by hand and bring them out there, but we're going to try to do it the proper way here. I am moving them by hand right now, but we're going to try to pick them up at the JCB and back them up that way. So this will be something we can go and sell. Not sure when we'll... Well, I guess we're going to sell the other trout today, so I guess we'll just make a pit stop down here and pick them up. I was going to say, I'm not quite sure when we'll pick them up, but I guess that's how I will do it. I will just make a pit stop on the way and then go a little bit of a different way, I guess, when we're going to go sell them, right? The biggest problem here is going to make sure that I don't run into anything when I'm backing up. Alright, so let's attempt to not cause any issues here, Z. Come on, buddy. You can do this. You can do this. Oh, and there they go. And there they go. And there they go. Alright, so let's try this again here. And push forward, and then lift them up a little bit higher this time, Z, so you don't hit stuff on the way back. Perfect. I should have the beacon on, and I don't. Just slow and steady, Z. Slow and steady, buddy. You can do this. Alright, perfect. Alright, so we got ourselves set now. So now I just got to bring the trailer down here and we'll be good to go. So I'm going to turn that off for right now, leave the beacon on because we are kind of in the way there. We can go ahead and sell this stuff now. So we'll sell this. Or maybe we keep it. Maybe we keep it. And we sell it as a full operation, even though we're not utilizing this portion of the operation. Maybe we keep it. Let's keep it. Let's keep it. Change of plans. That was a last minute change of plans. I was not intending to do that at all. Yeah, let's keep it. That's I think that's a better setup for selling, you know, the actual farm off when the series is over, right? So anyway, we've got flour going, right, and we've got it on distributing. So it should now, in theory, start distributing over to our new Kinlaig feed company as well, our Kinlaig fish company as well. It should start distributing it there. It hit 9 o'clock with a little bit of a later start, so I would suspect that there's some over there. There is 260 liters, not a ton, but there is. The other one has 70,000 liters in there, so quite a lot, honestly. But we'll continue to send the flour over there. Obviously, we're not going to be making any food out of that for quite a while, but it'll be nice to, you know, have some more storage for that flour because we do have a lot of flour that we're making, right? So it'll be nice. Anyway, there's lots of fish down here, as you can see. Well, a lot of trout, I should say, down here, as you can see. So, now, the only reason why I would, you know, I was considering removing that offshore agriculture, offshore aquafarm, whatever you want to call it. The only reason why I was considering it is because, you know, we're going to, it's not a problem, but we're going to have to go about, you know, moving the fish around the old-fashioned way again. If I put it on distributing, it will distribute trout to that offshore. We don't really want it to, right? We don't want it to. Because we're really not going to be utilizing it for the rest of the series, just because it's not my favorite thing in the world to do. I don't like it. So we're just going to become a trout farm, really, is what we're trying to become at this point. Now, I can make young salmon. We can certainly do that and just sell them outright, and maybe we will. Probably will, honestly. But we're not going to be worrying about the adult salmon anymore. We did it. It was stressful. We suffered through it. But we're not going to be doing that one again. How's everyone doing today? Hope you're all doing well. Things are good, man. We're moving along. We're cruising along. Yeah, there's gonna be enough room. That's not gonna fall over. Perfect. And we'll get this last one here. Now, is the young fish breeding, is it good? It is good. We could probably bring some more, but it is good. I tell you what, we're going to turn on the salmon again. We're not going to do distributing, though. We're just going to do storing. And, yeah, we can just start selling the young salmon, too, right? Like we were doing in the past. All right, perfect. So we'll back this up, put it back away. And we'll jump into the John Deere, put the straps down, and we'll be on our way. Now, again, all of this is not going to fit into our lakes. Ideally, what we would like to do is probably start to expand the lakes a little bit, right? Couple ways we could go about doing that. Not quite sure which way I want to go about it, but there's a couple ways we can go about doing that. One, the field we're going to harvest here, the smaller field that we're going to harvest here, we could start putting fish lakes going that way. Do we need more than the 3 we have? I don't know. Honestly, probably not. But, you know, it's something to think about, I guess, as we move along here. Probably won't be today because we have 2 fields to harvest today and we've got a lot of stuff that we're doing already, right? But it's something to think about for sure. right? All right, I don't know if I got that one all the way filled up or not. I did. How about that? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't at all. All right, well, there you go. So let's take some of these off there. I'm gonna do them by hand. I like the way that the color changes on the cement and partial gravel mixture that we've created here for our yard. I like that how it's a lot darker now, and you know, normally when it's not raining, it's a lot lighter. I like that a lot. I think it looks really cool. All of this trout might end up going into these lakes, because remember, the lakes were a little low, or a little light, I guess I should say, in the last episode. You know, and that's because, quite frankly, we haven't moved a whole lot over there for a while. We were doing other stuff. It's alright. You're okay, fishy. Don't worry. You're okay. You're just getting tossed around. It's just a big, massive current. It's okay. Everything's fine. And they're accepting a lot. Holy smokes. Maybe I should not have moved that fish food in the spot that I moved it into, because it's kind of in the way for me just driving over it and making our life a little bit faster. That's all right. So, again, this is what I'm talking about. This field right here, we could potentially, you know, add some more lakes there. I think realistically what I would like to do, and I've talked about this in the past, if we are to expand it, is to kind of expand this way, especially now that we have this track in. It would make this field a lot smaller, but, you know, I think that would be the way to go. I think it's just overall an easier setup. But I don't know. Again, I'm not quite sure we really need to yet. I think it's really going to depend on how much fish food we're able to distribute between those two fish food factories we now have, right? You know, are we going to have enough? I don't know, right? The goal is still, I mean, we still have to finish that end goal. That end goal is we still have to be really, you know, self-sufficient here when it comes to the fish food. And, you know, I said we're going to end it this year, and this year, and I say this year, I'm talking this calendar year of the game, and we are, but it's you know, to be seen if we can really say that we're 100% fully sufficient or not. The problem becomes, which is, I'm going to leave this one actually for this spot over here. The problem becomes, which is what I've talked about in the past, you know, the actual fish food companies are just very, very slow moving. They're just super slow. So it almost seems like we would need, you know, an astronomical amount. In other words, we're going to need 3, 4, 5 of those factories to truly say that we would be self-sufficient, even with the 3 lakes we have. I don't know. It's kind of crazy to me. Like, I feel like it's something's a little off with these. Like, they're just not quite fast enough as they should be. But I don't know. What do I know, right? What do I know? Okay, we don't want both of those going. We just want the one. Maybe that's the reason why. Okay, so yeah, we're good there for the most part. Fish food's looking all right. We need some more trout for the one, but there's not really much we can do about it, so we'll just keep it rolling. We are going to lose a little bit of fish food there in the offshore. Again, not a huge deal for me. The oat is gone. We'll turn that off. I forgot to turn that off in the last episode, even though I said I was going to. Completely forgot to do it. And then these are going strong as well. So things are good. Things are good. Now, the 2 fields we have to harvest today, one is a canola field, which is fantastic, so that's going to help us tremendously, but we still need the soybeans, right? We're still not going to be able to produce any kind of fish food of any sort until we get those soybeans harvested. So we're kind of still in a prep mode, if you will, for the remainder of the season here, the remainder of the year, I guess I should say. And that soybeans is really going to give us the yes or no on if we're going to be able to succeed here or not. Oh, actually, I should not be going this way yet. There was what, two or four, something like that? 3 or 4 pallets of adult trout over here that we need to go and sell. So let's go grab those really quick. There's no reason not to grab those. Yeah, 4 of them. Okay, perfect. We're just going to throw them up there by hand. Now, there will be another episode today. At the time of this recording, this should be coming out on a Sunday, Sunday morning specifically. There will be our Can You Survive 25 series. It will be happening tonight. Somewhere around 6 o'clock, I'll release it. 6 p.m. Eastern, I'll release it. So, if you're looking for that series, it will be out today as well. We just decided to kind of double up Sundays for a little bit, at least as long as I can, a little while here, until we finish this series up. Just based solely on the fact of some of the other series that we kind of started on the channel, which started them a little earlier than I initially anticipated doing. But that's okay. Not a big deal. So we're going to head on down to the harbor area and go to our JCB and you know, put the rest of those on here. We'll get them strapped down and we'll go sell them. Now, where are we going to sell these at? Well, yesterday, I say yesterday, last episode, they were at the restaurant. Let's see, where are we going today? I would assume it's probably the same place, but got to scroll for an hour here. Still don't have that upgrade that I'm looking for. Let's see, 6937, that's the train. We're not doing the train. 6955, the warehouse. Have we gone to the warehouse before? Which one's the warehouse? I don't think maybe we have. I think we might have had one time, maybe. All right, so the warehouse, is it the same for the trout, though? Because that's only the salmon. It's not exactly the same. It should be oh, that's the train. So, yes, it is the warehouse. Okay. Hey, if we have been there, it's been a while. I'll probably know once we see it, but that'll be good. Going somewhere a little bit different. So we'll get that done, and then hopefully by the time this is all done, the rain will be done. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to just speed up time a little bit to 5 times and see if that helps. Because it says the rain's supposed to stop anywhere between now and 11? Yeah, now and 11. So hopefully it'll be done. If not, we'll have to have a bit of a rest for a little while and then come back and get the harvest going. All right, well, the rain's still going, and I accidentally sold some of the fish when we were down there in the harbor. I forgot that there was a sell point back there behind. So we accidentally sold a little bit of that, unfortunately. So we didn't get the full amount we were hoping to get, but still, decent payday, right? Real good payday, as a matter of fact. So we're going to spend, while we've tried to wait for this rain, and again, I might have to go in and have a bit of a, early lunch, if you will, until the rain subsides here. But we'll spend a little bit of time here, a little bit of effort. Just kind of expanding this out a little bit more than it is. I think it would be better for us to do so. So we'll just expand it out just a bit here and here. There's a little bit more room for us to turn around, right? And to maneuver stuff. So we're probably going to need to. And then I just need to add a little bit of gravel here as well. Just to kind of, keep the theme-ish going, if you will, right? And that's going to be probably about good enough for me. We'll call that. That's good enough. Hopefully that's enough room there. Now, let's look. What we're going to do for a shed here, because I think a shed would make sense right in this region right here, I think. And then the actual field that we're going to work on could go, kind of follow the lines here, if you will, down to here, up, and then up next to, I'm assuming, is that an oak tree? I'm assuming it is. Up and around this way, kind of follow it. It'd be a little bit of a weird, awkward shape over here in this vicinity, but yeah. So I guess what we really need to look at more than anything, right, is the width of the actual shed itself. We could use something very basic. We could go something a little bit more like this, which is the same thing that we have here, right? There's just, unfortunately, you know, we've got this one and we've got this one. We just don't need... There's not enough room for both of them to go in that way, I guess is how I should put it. We could go this. This would work. It's kind of nice looking. Doesn't really match, you know, with the setup we've got rolling here. It doesn't really match that, so I think I would probably pass on that. Although it's a super nice shed, it just doesn't really match the setting here. This is nice, but again, I don't think this is going to fit. Oh, there we go. The rain finally stopped. I don't think this is going to fit this. Let's just do one more quick scan through here really quick, and if we don't see anything, we'll just start harvesting, and I'll think about it, and then maybe we'll put it down in the next episode. Maybe that. It's still not perfect, but again, I don't think that's wide enough for the planter to get in there, and that's what we need. Yeah, you know what? I'll keep looking through this off camera and see if I can think of anything, or maybe we'll do it in, you know, another episode when we have, you know, not as much to do. Now that the rain has subsided, let's go ahead and get started here and get harvesting. We might end up having to do 2 episodes here in July. It really just depends on... I'm just going to run right into the planter. Good job, Z. It might just depend truly on how long it takes for us to get these fields going, right? Used market. Is there anything in there? I don't think we looked at that yet. Nope, nothing. Of course not. Never is. Alright, so, you know what? Change of plans. I was going to do this field first, but I think we're going to do the canola field first. We've got plenty of... Well, this is wheat, right? Yeah, we've got plenty of well, not specifically wheat. I think we have barley left, but we've got plenty of actual crop that can create flour, right? We got plenty of that. We really don't have any canola at all at this point, so let's get the canola going first and foremost. So, this should be... It should be a good payday. Yellowish orange, not the greatest, but it should still be decent. We should still get a lot of canola out of this field. Sorry, gang, I hit the microphone. We should still get a lot of canola out of this field, honestly. We really should. So, we've got a lot to do. Let's get to work. Well, we're still cruising along here. We've got a little bit longer to go in this field, but not too much. We're getting a really, really good percent out of this field. We're getting 123% most of the field. You can see there in the bottom left-hand corner, I kept that up. I know a lot of people like when that's up, especially with precision farming, which we're utilizing. You can see a lot of that is in a very, very dark bluish green. So that's a really good sign, right? That's a really good sign for a really solid yield off this field, which is fantastic. Now, one thing I noticed down there, and I'm sure you probably saw it in the time lapse, but I don't know why, but we have weeds in that field down there. I must have missed something when we did that field. I didn't think we did, but I must have missed something. So we've got weeds in there. Now, the problem is, I'm not quite sure. We're at a stage where we can still drive over that without killing it. I don't necessarily want to put any tram lines in. I guess we might have to, but I don't necessarily want to put tram lines in, but we do have weeds in that field straight ahead of us right now. So we're going to have to figure out something to do with that field as well. I think given the time period already of this episode, I think what we're going to end up doing is doing 2 episodes here in July. I just don't think we're going to have enough time to get the rest of this field harvested, get the other field harvested, and spray that field all in the same episode. So that also gives me a little bit of time to think about the shed as well, which we talked about, right? So we can do that in the next episode too, and kind of go from there. So I think that's what we're going to aim to do is 2 episodes here in July. So we'll get the rest of this field harvested, get the canola moved over into the mill, get it started to produce some canola oil for us. We should, after this quick autosave here, we should still have the canola oil on auto distributing, auto distributing. So it should be, yes, it's in distributing. So we should be able to start producing that canola oil, and then it'll start sending it directly over there, which is nice, right? So the barley's still chewing through, as you can see, so that's good. And it'll continue to send that over here to our fish food factory. And we've got 1,000 over there now, so that's good. It should probably start pretty much heavily shipping it to that fish food factory at this point. It normally tries to keep it relatively even from my experience, so it should be shipping it almost entirely to there at this point, because there's plenty in the other one. There's 70,000 liters in the other one, so that's not really going to be a problem anytime soon. But yeah, very, very good yield off this field. I'm very happy with it. A lot of it has to do with the actual, you know, the ground texture, well, the ground type, I guess I should say, right? Which for this field specifically, it is a lot of loam, I think. Yeah, loam, and then the bottom is silty clay, which is not the best, but loam is really good, right? Loam is really good, so that's the reason why you're seeing such a high yield and a lot of blue-green, which is great for us. Really good for us, as a matter of fact. I don't know, a couple more passes, then we got this little bit down here, and this is all done, so it's not really going to take us too much longer to get this done, honestly. But yeah, I don't know why. I thought we plowed that field up, but maybe I missed something. Maybe I missed something. I very well could have. I don't know. We did struggle in that field. Remember, we were having a hard time pulling the drill up there. So I guess the only unfortunate part of that is, you know, if we're going to spray it, which I plan to do, we pretty much try to utilize up most of the herbicide we had already recently, so we might have to end up buying more, which is a bit of a downside, but it's not terrible. It's alright. I'm glad we didn't end up selling our sprayer, because we thought about doing that too, right? But I'm glad we didn't, because clearly we're going to be needing to utilize that here again, so yeah, we'll see. Hopefully no tram lines, but I fully expect that it's too far along now at this point that we're going to have to create some tram lines there. Now, one way we could get around it is putting skinny tires on. Maybe that's what we do. Maybe we spend the money and put some skinny tires on, right? If I do it, I would put it on our case tractor, since that is one we are going to be carrying over to the series that continues Z's story after this series is over, right? Again, I said there's going to be a bit of a hiatus, but there will be a continuation from this series on to another. And another loosely based story that Z will be partaking in. A little bit closer to home, have a little bit more, you know, similar to the initial. It'll have a little bit more of a realistic type of approach to it, with some things that are loosely based on real life events. Let's put it that way. Not as much as the initial series, but still, we'll have a few. We'll have a few. Just this little strip, and then that final one over there, and this is all done. I'm thinking we're going to have to unload, though, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately. It's actually a good thing. But I think we're going to have to unload before we finish the rest of the field here. I think we're going to be full. Just based off the fact of getting 122, 23, 24% off the field, which the best you can get is 125. So I think that might be the best I've ever done, honestly, on the field. So I'm expecting big things, though, out of our soybean field over there. Although, you know, it doesn't really require a whole lot of, you know, fertilizer, as you've all mentioned many times. But another quick note, one of my members, the longest member that I've had, actually, Frog RJB, mentioned a couple of things in regard to the fish food. Evidently, there is a mod out there for being able to pick up the fish food. It's not exactly labeled as you would expect, so I'm going to have to look into it. I just kind of glanced through it at the time of this recording, at least. I didn't fully read the entire details of it yet, but I did see that pop up on a notification. So evidently there is something on ModHub, but it just must not be as simple as it seems, right? A lot of the liftable stuff is all included in that liftable mod, but evidently this one's not. So anyway, I guess there's something. So we'll look into it, but it probably doesn't really make that big of a difference this far along in the series at this point. But yeah, so, you know, real quick, just what we were talking about in the last episode, it wasn't more, or I guess was it last episode or was it the episode before? I guess it was last episode. More specifically, when I was saying that there's no liftable for this map, there is. I've been utilizing the liftable. I was just meaning more specifically from the fish food perspective. There's nothing for that. There is for the fish. I've been picking the fish up for most of the series, so a bit of a mistake on my statement there, but I was really more specifically talking about the fish food, not versus the actual fish pallets, if that makes sense. Alright, I don't know why I'm putting the pipe out. We need to leave the pipe... putting the pipe in. We need to leave the pipe out because we're almost done. It looks like I'm going to have to do another little strip here. And we'll get to see what the total amount is we got off this field. Like I said, with it being that high of blue-green on the field, for most of the field at least... Mostly it's because of that loam, right? I'm expecting a huge amount of harvest here. So we've got 21,520 in here right now. I feel like that's really good. There's not going to be much more we're going to add here. It's probably not even going to get us to 22, but yeah, just short of it. 21,920. I feel like that is an astronomical amount for that field, for the size of that field, right? I feel like that's really good. So we're going to drop this off. It's not all going to fit into the mill, so we're going to have to dump some of this into our silo. We still have some barley in the silo as well, which we can move over. We'll probably do that in the next episode, though. No reason to do it now. There's still plenty in there. Okay, I stand corrected. We don't have to dump any in there. Evidently, it all fit in there. Okay, never mind. I thought it was 20,000, and evidently it's 25,000 that fits in there. Whoops, my mistake. Oh, well. Well, gang, we're going to leave the episode at that point. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you smash the like, subscribe button on the case you've yet to do so. They are free. They help me out an absolute ton. Thanks to my members. Cannot thank them enough for all their continued support. It really does mean the world. There is a link down below if you want early access to videos like this one, including the competitive one-tile challenge and all the new series that have recently come out. You also get a member series that occurs once a month where we go through some different ideas that are in my brain, and I try to incorporate any of the ideas, thoughts that you have into a series if it pans out to be something that we want to turn into a series. There is a Discord down below. If you want to check that out, that will give you the access to conversations that we have and any video that I release, regardless if it's this channel or my second channel, which is linked down below as well. I share everything on there as well. So check all of that out if you haven't done so already. Once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for your support, and I'll see you next time.